Hey students, Mrs. New here. Welcome back to another demo video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these adorable little fall pumpkins. So hopefully you can kind of see this. They're so cute. They're very simple to make. You can see they are hollow, but they do have some holes so the air can escape, which is kind of important. You need to make sure there are some venting holes. And texture, and they're just so cute for fall. I can't wait to get it all glazed and take it home. So things I'm gonna need for this project: I'm gonna need some slip, I'm gonna need a needle tool, I have a wet paintbrush here for smoothing, and I have a pretty decent sized slab. Now I'm gonna be able to get probably 2 pumpkins out of this larger slab, but the first thing I wanna do is make a texture on here. So I'm gonna look through my texture mats for something maybe kind of fall looking, kind of an interesting pattern or design. So for this one, I used this texture mat here. You can kind of see. So I'm going to go ahead and use this other texture mat for this one. Okay, so I'm going to put this on my slab. Now my slab, I have run it through the slab roller, and I also rolled it a little bit thinner than the slab roller. Okay. So you want this, you don't want your slab to be too thick for this project, or it's just harder to like fold it up and make it come together as a little pumpkin. Okay, so press kind of hard. Ooh, that's gonna be a pretty one. Move my pumpkin aside a little bit because I want to do a little bit more texture mat here. I want to try to get as much texture on the outside of my pumpkin as I can. Let me go across this way. Okay, press kind of hard. Perfect. Okay, so the template for this project looks like this. It looks like a little flower, and then this here is your leaf. So I'm going to position my template on my clay, and you can see I can at least get 2 out of this. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay it down. And I do like to kind of draw it on there before I cut, which is what I would normally do, but for the sake of the demo and the timing of the video, so it's not too long, I'm just going to go ahead and cut out this shape. Now you can imagine if you did this shape a little bigger, you would end up with a slightly bigger pumpkin, which could be really cool too. I don't have any bigger templates, but potentially you could draw your own, and you could even make them a little smaller than this if you, again, just kind of drew out this shape but made it a little bit smaller. You could do some little baby ones too. So that could be really fun. And the other thing I really love about this project is it's what I call kind of a one-dayer. So you can get something and get it finished in one class period. So that's nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of gently remove my kind of starfish or flower shape here and kind of move this apart. Just really carefully here. I'm just going to pull that apart, and I'm going to save all this. I'm going to make a second one here, but for now I'm just going to kind of set this aside. Okay, so I can get my flower. That was a pretty big slab. You don't need that much. Okay, so here is my texture. I'm going to keep this little part for the leaf. So now I'm just going to flip it over and kind of see where I'm going with this. The one thing I will caution you is just, making sure that you're just kind of careful with this flower shape as it goes. And then I'm just going to start to bring these little tips of the flower together. And now for this part, you might want to have a buddy or someone that's sitting at your table kind of help you, because you've got to kind of hold it together while also sort of slipping and scoring it together. So it can be a little bit difficult, but I'm just going to go ahead and put some slip in the little edges of the starfish or the flower shape and do a little scoring, and just kind of work slowly and go around and try to pull this together. Okay. All right, good. It's coming together pretty well. And now I'm just going to blend the top. And if you feel like you need to add a little piece of clay, like right here, I feel like I might need to just put a little piece in there to kind of get this to come together right. You can do that. Now, don't worry too much about this top part as far as like the blending, and I'm losing some of my texture. Don't worry too much about that quite yet, because that's going to get covered up anyway with the stem. But what you do need to kind of pay attention to is your little edges. So what I like to do is once I get it attached, I'm going to kind of fatten it up. So I'm going to kind of just push gently make, to kind of belly it out just a little bit, okay? Because you want those gaps so that the air can escape. You don't want it to be like totally enclosed, right? Because then you would need a hole, because it would have trapped air in there. So just really carefully. That's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to do my leaf, and I can use the texture mat or not, but I just have this little scrap. So the leaf shape, I'm just going to cut this out. And I also want a stem. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple tricks for that. But here's my leaf, and I could just, you know, use it like that. Or what I like to do is kind of just draw on, you know, kind of the veins of the leaf, so it looks more leaf-like. Okay, so there's my little leaf. Okay, you can see where I'm going with this, kind of like that. And then for a stem, I'm just going to make a coil. Now make sure your coil isn't too fat or too thin. And what can look kind of cool is if you take a coil, taper it, so one side's more narrow, and then twist it. And then it starts to really, like, it almost has kind of a, I don't know, it looks like how they really grow, right? How they're kind of textured like that. Again, it's up to you how you want to do it, but I'm going to trim a little bit of this off because it's a little long, but I kind of like that kind of curly look to that. And, or you could make it however you want, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and slip and score the stem on, so making sure that I'm scratching and putting some slip. And I'm also going to do that with the leaf. So here's my little stem. Now, this is kind of hard because I don't want to push hard because I don't want to collapse my pumpkin. But I'm just going to go slow. Put a little slip down in here where I'm going to put the leaf. And it does help to have these on a banding wheel. So you can see I have this one on a banding wheel. So as you start building, that lifts it up a little bit, and also, you know, kind of helps you see it and helps you get more at eye level with the stem. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and switch mine. So this is the one I'm working on now. Another thing that's important to have for this one is a wet paintbrush, okay? So that, because I don't want to press too hard, so I'm just going to use that wet paintbrush to make sure that the stem is really well blended, because I don't want that to fall off, and make sure the leaf is really well blended. Now you could do some other fun things with this. What if you, I don't know, you could even like add a face to it and make it more like a jack-o'-lantern. You could put little like coil tendrils of, you know, I don't know, kind of hanging down or whatever. But I'm just going to take my wet paintbrush. I'm going to smooth out the edges of my slab that I cut out as well, just for craftsmanship, and just kind of take some time and do a little wet paint brushing. Okay, so just again as an added detail, on this one I put like a little coil here, a little tendril, that would kind of, you know, add a little bit more. So I'll do that to this one too. But as you can see, you guys, this project's super fun and easy, and it's a great, like I said, one-dayer, and I hope that you guys have fun creating your little pumpkins, and pretty soon we will have a whole pumpkin patch. Super excited. All right, have a great day. See you later. Bye.